Good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And this morning we are dealing with who's in your circle. Who's in your circle? Think about it. Look at your phone. Look in your contacts. Look in your Fab Five, as the old cellular phone commercial used to say. Who's in your Fab Five? Who's in your posse? Who runs with you? They often say that I can always determine where you're going by who you're with. So this morning's manna is about who's in your circle. As usual, we'll give the text, the talk, and the takeaway. Here is the text. The text is Proverbs 27:17. You already know it. Iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. Catch what the proverbial writer is saying. The friction of iron causes sparks and even fire. But after the sparks and the fire, you have now tools that are smooth and functional that can deliver whatever they need to deliver and do whatever needs to be done, but could not be done until there was some friction and some rubbing against one another. The proverbial writer, who gives us snippets of truth like tweetables in the biblical era, is simply saying you need to have somebody in your circle that can cause such friction in your life that you will be sharpened to be more functional in your world. Three things I want to share with you with respect to the text. Three types of people, three types of personalities you need to have in your circle. I need you to write them down. I need you to look for them if you don't already have them. The first person is a Peter personality. You need a Peter personality in your Fab Five, in your circle. You need a Peter personality. Peter challenged people, didn't think twice about raising the question. He even challenged Jesus. You remember the question in Matthew 18 when he's talking, and Jesus says, "Who do men say that I am?" And then as a result of that, Peter says, "You are the Son of God. You are the Christ. You're the Messiah." And Jesus says, "Hey, Peter, you got it right. You got that right, Peter." But within the next verse or two, when Jesus began to say what he was going to do and how he was going to be crucified, then Peter grabbed a hold of him and says, "No, Lord, not you." Now, he challenged Jesus. That might have been wrong, but he still challenged Jesus. He was a challenging personality. And that challenging personality is what helped bring Jesus out. You cannot fully see Jesus without fully seeing how Peter played a part in that. So you need a Peter personality in your Fab Five, who's in your circle, who's in your posse, who runs with you. The second personality that you need is a Barnabas in your life. You need a Barnabas in your life, a Peter in your life, and you need a Barnabas in your life. Barnabas was an encourager. His name means encourager. He was an excellent encourager. My mother was an encourager. She would encourage you. I mean, my goodness, if you didn't think you could do it, by the time my mother finished talking with you, you felt like you could bite bullets. You could run through a brick wall. Wasn't nothing you couldn't do, because my mother had that gift of encouraging you, telling you you can do it, stroking you to make you feel as if you are confidently going to accomplish whatever you set your mind to do. And Barnabas was that kind of person. He encouraged Paul. Now, not only does that personality encourage you, that personality opens up doors for you. Barnabas opened up the door for Paul to step into the world of Christianity after Paul was converted. Ananias led him to Christ. He needed a Barnabas, though, to open up the doors and to speak well of him in rooms that he could not get in. You need a Barnabas in your life that can encourage, can open up doors that you can't get in, be in rooms that you're not in, to speak well of you. You got a Peter in your life, a Barnabas in your life. You need a Paul in your life. You need a Paul in your circle of friends. You need that kind of personality. Paul was the one that called all of us to a higher level of understanding of what Christianity was and is. I need you to understand that Paul wrote 2/3 of the New Testament. Without Paul, we're left with the Gospels. Now, the Gospels, in and of themselves, can bring us into salvation. But what helps us to live in our daily life before we go to heaven is the epistles that Paul writes, the application of the gospel, how the gospel is lived out in everyday life, the answering of questions that are raised in the various churches. Paul wrote those answers. Paul calls all of us to a higher level of living and a higher understanding and a higher knowledge of our walk with the Lord. So you need a Paul in your life that can call you and say to you, hey, step it up. Here's a whole nother understanding of how you should be living your life. So there is a Peter in your life that's going to challenge your very being, so that being in you can come out. There's going to be a Barnabas in your life that's going to encourage you when you're down and you don't think you can make it. That Barnabas steps in and not only encourages you, but helps opens up doors for you. And then the third is the Paul that's going to call you to a higher level of living, a higher excellence of understanding, and a higher understanding of application of the walk that you've been called to. What's your takeaway this morning? Your takeaway is this: the people in your circle can either make you or break you. You determine that by who you choose to be in your circle. Look around one more time. Who's in your circle? Who's in your Fab Five? Who's in your contact list? Who you hang out with? Who you go to church with? Who do you text? Who do you talk to? They're either going to make you or break you. And do you have a Peter, a Barnabas, or a Paul in that number? The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you, give you peace. Share the manna. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't be greedy. Share the manna and put your comments so other people can get the revelation that you got. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. Bye now.